This program contains subject matter and language that may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
My name is Jacob. I'm 24 years old. I'm living outside of Sacramento, California. Scratching records and breakdancing makes me feel stoked. But those things aren't my number one anymore.
Call that a double Windsor.
I'm a personal banker. That's what I do for a living. Whatever that entails, accounts, loans, transactions, yada, yada, yada. Do I like it? No, not really. I hate life. I hate it. And I've hated life for a long time, I think. I am an alcoholic.
Alcohol fills the hole in his chest, but when he wakes up the next morning, the hole is empty again.
Well, there's no gray area with my drinking. It's like I'm chill, I'm cool, I'm social, I'm happy, and then all of a sudden I'm confrontational and reckless. I'm destroying them every time. I'm not scared of no people.
I don't know if it starts out as fun, then goes into a fight. I can't imagine if he wasn't really a big fighter.
If he doesn't get his ass kicked in the backside of a bar and just killed, beat to death, he will end up overdosing again.
Woke up to somebody pounding on my chest. That's what ODing is like. There was no white light, there was nothing. Right after I got out of the hospital, drank for like 7 days afterwards, you know? I guess that's what having no hope will get you.
Well, Jacob had a hard start. We partied quite a bit, me and Jacob's mother.
We did cocaine. We did drugs when people thought it was just a fun thing to do.
I tried to get her to stop. I tried to get her to get off, and I had just pushed her away more. And in turn, she left us. Well, it's her legal right to see him, and that was real difficult to deal with. I didn't feel very confident that she was doing the thing she should be doing with him.
Jacob's dad, he knew that I was a good mom. I know he knew that in his heart. Because when it suited his life or his situation, then Jake lived with me.
What my mom isn't telling you is what she did for a living. I can remember sneaking into my mom's room and seeing some white stuff on the scale. She would roll a joint while she was driving and, you know, feed me the stems.
I wanted to start over with my new wife, and I did let Jacob go live with his mother, and that was probably the biggest mistake I ever made in my life.
I would like to say that the time that the home invasion happened, I was not selling drugs.
I disagree. I totally disagree with that.
We were all home, meaning my brother, myself, and Jacob, and some guys kicked the door in.
I woke up to like boom, boom. They tie my mom and my uncle up, and then the dude brings my mom into her room.
I told Jake not to worry and to be brave. The guy said, "Shut your mouth. I feel like shooting somebody tonight."
And seeing my uncle's face, and then looking up at this dude that's got a rifle in his hand, and then some giant dude's got my mom in her room with a shut door. And I just envisioning thoughts that a 9-year-old should never, ever be a part of. it's ever. Being scared in your own home is a really f***ed up feeling, you know? You're scared to sleep, you're scared to leave your home, you're scared to go home. Just terrified of reality.
And I think he lived in that environment for a long time, and he wanted to get out of that.
And I left angry, I left pissed. When I moved, my dad had a lot of alcohol around, so I'd dip into his alcohol. Her going to prison was a great excuse for me to just say F the world, FTW it, you know what I mean?
How could I have not known some of this stuff? But it was there, but I didn't see it. I didn't notice it. Well, I think when Jacob decided to move back with his mom, I really thought he was trying to rekindle some kind of relationship. I think a lot of the old emotions that have been bottling up with him is coming out.
I can just get mad thinking about my past and stuff that I've been through.
We can't help him. I can't help him. His mom can't help him. I don't think that anyone in this family can help him.
Jake,
What up, Dad?
how you doing?
What's up?
Jake, I'm here today because I love you very much, and I'm also hurt and scared for the both of us. Remember going fishing with me and actually catching fish?
Yeah, that's nice.
Remember getting excited about racing motocross and learning how to ski?
Oh, yeah.
Things have changed now, and lately you've affected me, and by me being on edge when the phone rings late at night, worrying if you're gonna be all right, and how messed up you're gonna be. And this has happened several times. Since your overdose, I thought that you would have seen the light and slow down and stop using. Hurts to hear that you haven't. It affects me constantly, worrying and thinking that you may OD again and die. The worst thing I can imagine is my son dying before me. Now, Jake, will you please get help today?
Yeah, if you're waiting for an answer, of course it's yes.
So why are you guys all just sitting there?
Yeah, no kidding.
We love you so much, Jake.
Make it happen. Make it happen.
If it weren't for the intervention, I don't know where my life would be today. I've never wanted to further my education, never even entertained that thought, But now it's like a burning desire that that's something that I should do, so that's what I'm doing.
Jake deciding to go to college makes me feel really proud. It makes me feel like that he will live up to the potential that he has and have the life that he deserves.
My hopes for the future now that I'm sober, it's having faith that I have a future, and it's bright. If I choose to make the right decisions, and it sounds cliche, but I think I can do anything.